As you can see by the leaves around me, autumn is here, and I'm standing in front of my beds today because I want to start my autumn/winter garden. It's the first time for me to start gardening here. 3 months ago, I moved to this beautiful farm with a great piece of land. We have about 3,000 square meters, and today I'm going to start my first garden beds. If you want to see how I built them, check out the video in the top. I'll also put it in the description below. Like I said, today I will be planting my autumn garden in my beds. And because I am new to the climate here, I had to do some research. We are in zone 10B. And I did some research on what crops best to plant in autumn. Since sharing is caring, I decided to make this video and tell you which 11 vegetables you should plant in autumn if you are living in zone 10B. Let's start with lettuce. Now the weather is getting cooler and it's not so hot because summer is really too hot for lettuce. It will just weather away. So that's why September is a good time to start with lettuce. Now lettuce, you can start it from a seed tray and then bring it outside to your garden, or you can start directly with planting the seeds in your garden, or you can just do like I did it. I went to the shop and bought 2 different types of lettuces just because I think now I have a higher success rate of growing these lettuces. And the nice thing about lettuce is that you can grow it in September, early September, late September, and even still in October, which means you can have a continuous harvest. Turnips can be planted from March until September, which is a good part of the year. I decided to put them in my autumn/winter bed because turnips are a vegetable that I tend to eat more in stews and soups, which I eat more of in autumn and winter, so I'm planting them now. I'll be direct sowing a couple now and we'll plant some more in October. That way I can have a continuous harvest throughout the winter, since they take about 2 to 3 months to mature. The nice thing about turnips is that not only the roots are edible, you can also eat the leaves of these plants. The markets and the garden shops were full with onion plants, so it seems that autumn is also a good time to plant your onions. And onions are kind of similar to lettuce in the way that you can either start them from seed and then grow them in a seed tray, or you can put the seeds in the garden beds right away, or you can get seedlings like I got. I only got myself a couple of onion plants. I got about 10 just because I'm just starting and I don't want to overdo it. But if you want to grow enough onions for a family, you need about 12 to 20 plants per person. If you start your onions in a seed tray, then it should take about 4 to 6 weeks until they get big enough to plant them out. Brussels sprouts are another great veggie to start planting in early fall. They love the outside sun in fall and they need about 6 to 8 hours of sunlight, which I think they're definitely gonna get here because it's a super sunny spot. I'm going to start my sprouts in a seed tray inside because they have a higher chance of surviving then, because they won't have to fight off any pests as they start growing. Plus, you will shorten your harvest time by about 3 weeks if you start them inside and then bring your seedlings outside. Next up we have cabbage, another really good crop for the 10B zone here in Portugal for autumn. It likes the cooler weather, and with more rainfall and a better temperature, it really will thrive and grow big and crisp. For the cabbage, I also bought some seedlings from the store just to have hopefully a higher success. And I'm planting these in my beds that I've filled with some twigs, a layer of compost, then soil, horse manure, and then a layer of topsoil. So I hope that it is good enough for these plants so they can thrive and grow into big cabbage plants. For those of you who don't have a lot of patience when it comes to gardening, choose to plant some radishes, because these are super easy to sow directly into the soil and they can be harvested in about 3 to 4 weeks. So if you plant them end of summer, early fall, you have radishes in a month. Now, I'm going to put them right between my carrots because radishes are also a really good filler, and that means that you can easily plant them between some other vegetables in your garden that need a lot more time to grow and mature, like carrots, or here my cabbages and cauliflower. Because these are so quick to grow, it's fine to put them in between because they won't get in the way of the other crops. You don't have to bury them all that deep, so just a small trench and then sprinkle them on. Another great crop are leeks, and leeks you can technically directly sow into your garden beds, but you're going to be more successful if you actually start them in a seed tray and then plant them out when they are about 4 to 6 weeks old. I am going to plant my leek right next to my carrot because the leek will repel and scare away the carrot root fly. I'm also planting them all the way up to here, just where the first leaf starts, so this can grow under in the soil. Another vegetable in the cabbage family is cauliflower. And just like cabbage, cauliflower likes the cooler temperatures and can be planted in autumn. It typically takes about 70 to 100 days to mature as well. However, cauliflower is more sensitive to temperature fluctuations and prefers consistent cool weather. When planting cauliflower, make sure your soil is well draining and has a lot of nutrients in it. And when you plant them, make sure to plant them about 40 to 50 centimeters apart so they can grow as their heads get quite big as the plant matures. Now let's talk about carrots. Carrots are another veggie that are really good for your autumn planting in central Portugal. Make sure that your beds are about 30 to 40 centimeters deep so the carrots have enough space to grow. When you plant them as seeds and then from your seed tray into the soil, or if you do direct sowing, you want to make sure that you thin them out so your carrots can actually grow. But if you do it like I did and get your seedlings at the market, then you don't have to do that, and then you can just plant them about 5 to 8 centimeters apart from each other. You can even see that my little seedlings already have some carrots growing. So let's space them out. The last one on our list are peas. These little sweet gems are a great vegetable to start in your bed in autumn for a late winter harvest. Now the best thing to do is to direct seed them in your bed because the roots are quite shallow and the plants don't like to be transplanted once they have sprouted. So that's what I'm going to do. If you don't want to do that, you can consider getting a gutter, like a rain gutter, and put them in there, because once the plants have sprouted and you have your seedlings ready to go into the soil, you can kind of like slide them down the slide into your soil. But since I don't have a gutter, I'm just going to put them in the soil directly. I'm going to put like 2 seeds quite close to each other and then a little bit of distance, like 5 to 10 centimeter between the next two, because then there's a higher chance that one of them will sprout. There's 2 of them. And if they both sprout and start to grow, I can just snip one off. I think another row here. A little bit more distance, I think. So if needed, I can put some sticks and build a trellis in the middle between them. And I have a couple of little sticks that I'm going to put right on the end of where I planted my row, so I remember where exactly I put them. So here they are, 11 vegetables you can plant in autumn and some even in winter in zone 10B in Portugal. I'm very excited about my beds and I really hope they're going to take off and everything will grow and I will have a lot of harvest. Let me know if you have a garden and what you are going to plant for autumn and winter in your beds. Thank you for watching and don't forget to watch the video in which I built my beds. See you in the next video. Bye bye. The radishes? These radishes, I can't say that word.
Radishes.
Radishes.